Been a while since I've done some commentary on one of these things, and we've got a match here between Apostolosoruler and swordfishtrombone. Two quite charming players here. I think they're playing with 2 to 4 landscapes, so that's why you see 4 here, but it won't necessarily be 4 in all the rest. There isn't much thinning looking at the board here. There's just trade route and sacrifice. Alchemist stacks can make you draw a ton. Potentially, populate is available. Windfall is available as probably the best way to really up your economic forces on this board. Also, looks like it's kind of unusually there's no way to react the village green here, nor the tunnel. So tunnel is just going to be a 2 points for 3 cost, and it's worth noting here that populate, there's Mandarin, so presuming that you need to use some treasures in order to populate, you'll have to top deck them all, which is probably not so much what you want. But if you already have a stack of alchemists, then okay. Looks like they both had 2/5. They both went Black Cat. Apostolosoruler went with Sacrifice, and Swordfishtrombone went with Potion. Um, yeah, I'm not super confident about which of those directions I like better. I think those kind of are the 2 options that make the most sense. I think getting a lot of village greens and black cats makes a reasonable amount of sense. I think I like the potion better. Eventually, you are going to run out of stuff. You're going to want to trash stuff with trade route to plus buy. Apostolosoruler drawing the sacrifice dead twice. Quite unlucky. This could be another black cat here for the coffers. Takes a trade route instead. Okay. And swordfishtrombone gets to get another alchemist. So looks to be pretty far ahead based on, well, I think it's more the state of the draws than anything else. Here, I would think you'd next turn this village green, and I would want to buy a black cat. The thing that I'm thinking about a lot is you probably want to build quite a while because it's pretty hard to empty 8 provinces, um, especially if you're not building to draw your deck first via Windfall. It's hard to build to 8 provinces, and Vineyards is another huge swath of points that's available. So we think the game has the potential to go very long. Okay. Alchemist is a good find. Village Green, I'm going to this turn here. And yep, just buy this Alchemist. Things basically seem to be going pretty well for Swordfishtrombone. I think I would be wanting to pick up my next non-alchemist buy. I'd be wanting to pick up either a trade route or a sacrifice, or a Swordfishtrombone. Probably next turn this village green. Okay, this is also plausible and gets this nice kind of Chancellor effect. And yeah, just continuing to pick up a bunch of alchemists also seems good. Although at some point I really would be thinking about just picking up a sacrifice anyway. Maybe a trade route. Trade route gives plus buy. The sacrifice, I don't know, somehow seems better anyway, but it's not entirely clear. I'd be playing Sage earlier than this on the turn, I think. But maybe there were just enough cards left that it's fine not to. The remaining cards here for Swordfishtrombone are the Black Cat and Estate and 2 coppers. So there's not really much point in drawing them now. Next turning this thing seems fine to make sure that you have a village in play before you Black Cat. Probably thinking here quite a bit about Alchemist versus taking either Trade Route or Sacrifice. That would be my guess. The other nice thing about going for alchemists here is I think I'm likely to want the potion for um, for vineyard anyway. I'm gonna this turn one of these guys. I'm gonna play the black cat next. I guess I'm probably this turning the other village green as well. If I'm Apostolosoruler, I would be triggering this shuffle. I think maybe I wouldn't actually. Probably just taking coffers here. Yeah. So Apostolosoruler is getting the deck thinner. Swordfish Trombone getting more draw. So they're both going for deck control, but in different ways here. Right. So this is 6 and 2 buys and a potion. It's going to be Alchemist. The question is what you get with the Alchemist. You could make cases for almost anything. Not a second trade route, I don't think. Not a tunnel, I don't think. Certainly not a copper, a curse, or an estate. I think you play the Sage here. I'm trying to remember what Apostolosoruler has left in the deck. Is there anything for the Sage to find? Okay. Well, this is presumably going to be a windfall. It's the reason why you want to... Well, basically it's the reason why you'd want to build this way. But where you go from here is not entirely clear. My guess would be Apostolosoruler wants to basically province out. Could go for a populate perhaps. Populate also should in some way I guess help with vineyard, and if you have enough alchemists it may be okay with the Mandarin if you're drawing well enough that way. So I'd think another alchemist here, and this could be a black cat and a coffers. I'm not in love with that, but it's probably okay. You don't have the terminal space for it is the issue with it, but okay. Just had to read something there elsewhere. Yeah. I mean, the fact that with such bad draws, with Sacrifice and Trade Route as the best trashing, Apostolosoruler is still, well, where he is, drawing the deck at similar speed here. This could be Windfall and Alchemist. I don't love it though, because you're kind of struggling to draw. I really would have thought about maybe Village Green and Alchemist doesn't quite work out the best. I'm not sure, but now I don't know that you have enough draw if you're Swordfish Trombone to draw at all. So we'll see what happens here. There's going to be some interesting choices. I mean, I'm playing that trade route, sacrificing a copper, and then I'm trade routing a copper, I'm pretty sure. Are you gonna, oh, you're populating here. You may not be too happy with that once these treasures go on your deck. But he seems to be okay. There is sacrifice, which helps a bit. Does get the alchemist. It's not the worst thing. I would probably want a trade route. I just don't know that I would have wanted to do it then exactly. Yes, I like playing the trade route here over anything else. Trash a copper by... You could... You could populate yourself, but you're drawing... Well, you could still top deck the alchemists. No, you can't. You can't top deck the alchemists. That's actually very important to note, because the potion will no longer be in play. So you're just drawing all these treasures next turn. So you want to stack it to where your next hand is 4 coppers and the potion. Not like this. so that you're buying Alchemist and you have the more money for later, I think. Um, I do like getting the vineyard there. I think these vineyards are going to be the most efficient way to score here, and that is going to be a problem. Okay. So the most natural bid here for Swordfish Trombone, I think, would be 8, so that you can pay the debt and buy a vineyard this turn, which I think I'm already wanting to buy more than another Alchemist. I guess if you knew this was going to happen, it's a reason to stack the deck this way. Swordfish Trombone bids 12, which also has some amount of logic because although that's a slight mistake, easy one to make, but a slight mistake, you should have only paid off 7 debt and taken a coffer. Because you can always use the coffer to pay the debt later, but maybe you get to save it. So that's a really small, subtle mistake, but I think one worth noting. Um, I'm not quite sure what Apostolosoruler's plan is at this point. I would guess play Bureaucrat, sacrifice the trade route to draw the other two things, play another trade route to trash some more stuff. But you only have, to trash the copper, you're going to have 8 money, 11 money, 13. I mean, you don't have enough to double province, right? So I'm still not totally sure what you're trying to do then. 9, 11, yeah, this is 13, 15. Oh, you could double. You won't be able to double again next turn. It's not so easy. Not so easy, but mostly because I think Swordfish Trombone has good chances of getting enough vineyards before you're going to province out. You could also populate again. That doesn't seem great because again the treasure's going back on top of your deck. Okay, decides for double province. Swordfish Trombone looks to be in good shape from what I can see now. Yeah, this is fine. You trash a copper. This is... No, 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 no. Okay, yeah. When you buy 2 black cats here, I think. A second potion, that's also plausible. And having the black cats in hand here is really nice for Swordfish Trombone. Apostolosoruler. I mean, the curse giving is nice, but actually kind of the draw is even nicer, I think. Um, Not sure what you do here as Apostolosoruler, but the game looks pretty much won for Swordfish Trombone to me, I think. I mean, you can continue populating any number of times for Apostolosoruler, but that won't win the game, and Swordfish Trombone is going to be able to outscore you relatively quickly. You're not going to empty piles fast enough, I don't think. Like you could populate every turn, but okay, having 2 black cats in hand, probably good here for Apostolosoruler as well, because I would imagine Swordfish Trombone is going to score some points here. I would think I'd be trying to use, given that I think Swordfish Trombone is going to draw the deck here. Maybe not. I think I might anyway. I might stop here. I'm going to play the Mandarin to put a black cat on top of my deck. Oh yeah, sacrifice an action. Probably the Bureaucrat. Silver's for Swordfish Trombone's deck. Not what he needs. So I'd sacrifice the Bureaucrat here. Yeah, this is definitely better than what I was thinking. But I mean I am looking for Mandarin a black cat on top of my deck. But I definitely want to play Trade Route. Sacks the Mandarin. Okay. Certainly I'd be playing Sage. Yeah. play this now. Yeah, I think sacking the bureaucrat would have been better. You could have stuck a black cat on top of your deck here instead of having the silver on top. I think that would have been better. You're going to buy double vineyard here, I assume. Could populate. I don't love populating again because of the Mandarin on gain, but like it's going to power up your vineyards a lot. A lot. So that is something that's nice. But my inclination would be to get vineyard. Goes for alchemist and province, I presume. Certainly not populated at this point. If you were going to populate, you'd buy anything but alchemist. You're just giving up the buy, basically. Okay. So Apostolosoruler probably needs to province here. I'll see how you're winning if you don't take province if you're Apostolosoruler. Okay. We definitely trade root a curse here. I think double vineyard is just the safe thing here. Could be vineyard populate, I guess. But yeah, this seems better. Now 7 and 2 buys. Double tunnel looks like what I'm looking at here. Surely is okay. Black cat, dunno. Certainly expect swordfish trombone to be winning kind of regardless at this point. The alchemist stack is like stopping you from reacting black cat most of the time, so that's like a thing against it. I mean, I would have played a black cat before I sacked one there, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. Play a black cat there, trade root the curse. Probably buy double vineyard. Oh wait, no, you can double province and win, so you do that. Yeah. I don't know. At some point, Apostolosoruler seemed to be an okay spot, but maybe it just never was the case. I was wondering if at that point you could have like switched over and taken a potion then, delay the potion for a bit, get the thinning stuff better, and then move into potion. But ultimately, I think the alchemist stack with the power of vineyards is pretty good. Okay, so here we have village green again. We again have no way to discard it. Orchard is 3 of everything, 3 of everything. So, I mean, Steward, there's Fortress with Bishop here, which scores a zillion points. It's probably where you're heading towards. I don't think I like opening Fortress anyway, though. I usually don't like opening remodel, but I think I like it better than the Fortress. But this is like part of the problem with opening remodel is That's pretty bad. Oh, enhanced fortress. Interesting. That might make it worth opening. Not totally sold on the paddocks. Yeah, more fortress seems good there. You just want to thin down with your steward. I would have really liked a second steward, I think. Kind of from both of them. Um, I guess Apostolosoruler has a remodel to potentially help do some of the thinning. Given that the steward is the bottom card, I do like drawing there. Could be trashing. Okay, trash is the estate. Yeah, I think that makes sense given that you do have the. Well, not sure exactly. Paddock potentially gives you two sets of orchard points because you get three paddocks and it's pretty easy to get three horses. I'd be trying to get bishops quite quickly at this point. You trash two coppers, you enhance this fortress and get a bishop. Continues to get more fortresses. Okay. Yeah, you want to draw first. You don't want to play this remodel at all. Buys a fortress. The thing is, you don't need a lot of fortresses here. So, I mean, it's kind of nice to have a couple. I guess I'd probably want to have three because I think Orchard could come up, but kind of whatever. Getting remodels helps give you extra gains for those more fortresses and such like. Um, yeah, Swordfish Trombones deck is under control, and well, I don't think I would have resigned because there are a lot of choices to do from that point, and I think they do make a difference. Swordfish Trombone is a clear and big advantage. So, anyway, let's move into the next game. Should I think be game three? Tis. I don't know why I said tis. I have no more idea now than I did earlier. Let's see what the mouse card is. It's Chapel. So it's Chapel. Um, Interesting. I'm gonna open summon anything here. Which seems better than the 2/5, but you're gonna buy Lighthouse here if you're Swordfish Trombone. And you probably gotta mouse this thing, right? Question is, do you keep a copper so you can buy a lighthouse? And I think I would have bought the lighthouse there, but it's not entirely clear. It's also not totally sure what you're doing after this point. You could go for talisman business with Spice Merchant for your plus buy. You're gonna need some draw if you do that, but that's plausible to get. Apple does go for talisman. Mouse does get around the Enchantress attack. Again, I'm not sure, but I would have thought about keeping a copper there to get another lighthouse. Maybe not. I mean, I like the first one. It protects you against Enchantress attack. It does a few things for you, right? But they do successively get worse. I think I would have liked the second one again. Protects me from Enchantress attack, but um, and I guess the other thing is right. The first one is a chapel, but extra chapel opportunities are going to be fewer and farther between the longer the game goes. So talisman, this makes sense. You're gonna, I think, draw with at least the first spice merchant here. This one you could choose not to, but you probably will. Here I would expect plazas. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Probably going to get some plus buy off at least one of these spice merchants this turn. You got to pig one of these things here if you're swordfish trombone. Yeah, swordfish trombone seems kind of hopelessly behind. Okay, you discard here for sure. There's no reason really to not discard here. You're gonna take money and buy here off this spicy boy. Right. It's gonna be silver and something that costs 4, apparently more plazas. See, I would want a second enchantress, I think, and I guess it kind of means coming with the third. Invest is kind of interesting, but I think that your opponent can just play around it, so I'm not hugely on board. More plazas for swordfish trombone. Mostly just still seems behind, even though I'm not a huge fan of all these extra plazas. I don't think they do that much. You would think about not discarding there, because something like this could happen. Yeah, this seems bad. This seems like a misplay from Apo. It's not like you're going to be able to do all your stuff anyway. Here I'm spending those coffers back and buying Enchantress. Yeah. And again, Apo seems to be in good shape now, I think. His remaining cards are one talisman, um, 2 more coppers. Is it 1 or 2? I can't remember. Another spice merchant, and like 4 plazas. Oh, 2 more, 1 more enchantress. Anyway, regardless, it's. I guess you wanna. I would think I would just play this. Oh, okay. Um, Interesting. Well, I'm leading with Plaza here. I'm not discarding anything because I don't think I'm drawing that much. And I'd like to take the second Spice Merchant for plus buy, which Apo seems to be doing as well, but I think I would have rather had the silver than the coffers here, especially if you're going to spend it. I guess if you're going to spend it, it probably doesn't really matter. I don't think I would have spent it. That's a lot of enchantresses. Um, what's the game? I mean, I guess enchantress is a way to draw, and given talisman, I'm not sure how the efficiency stacks up compared to stables, but somehow I don't know. Something's not entirely convincing. You got to play maybe not all of these. Maybe you hold this one back. Sure, that's probably fine. Okay. Probably pig the spice merchant if it was me. If it were me, rather. Okay, do this. You gotta take the buy. You gonna go for the last enchantress here? I don't think I'd bother. You could do a hilarious thing and masterpiece that would get you the most fodder for your stuff. Just getting a silver, and here you could have discarded. Little things. Little things. Apple still seems way ahead to me. Summons the Enchantress. That's reasonable, I guess. I mean, it's going to get pigged, so I don't know, it's that. I don't know, it's probably fine. I would think Swordfish Trombone would be in for Spice Merchants by now. It's the way to get plus buy. Not going for it though. I mean, I think not having plus buy looks kind of bad to me here. Wait, why would you mouse that? I'd rather have plus card plus action. Certainly discard here. Probably don't discard here, but figure out what you're going to buy. Buys. Buys. Buy. Silver stables. Yeah, I think he cost himself another coffers here. Kind of like silver stables here. Goes for talismans. Okay. I don't like that so much. I guess he wants to spend a coffers. He's going to go talisman silver stables. Maybe instead of Sables is going to summon. I don't love that summon play. Again, it's just getting pigged. I need more draw. And I think Stables is the way to get it. I also don't really like the talismans, though. They do give pile control, but I'm not worried about pile control because it's not what you're lacking, right? Swordfish Trombone is going to be provincing here. If not immediately, then soon. And okay, well then I don't understand what Swordfish Trombone is doing. I mean, I think Apostolosoruler is basically winning anyway, regardless of how it comes out. I guess I'm probably only playing 3 of these Enchantresses and both of the Spice Merchants for buy. That's what I wanted to do. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm on stable. Well, this is one case I think I actually would have tried to balance these Enchantresses. You're going to draw really well next turn, but you're not going to draw so well the turn after. Really know what you're going to do here. You could, like, Masterpiece Overpay, I guess. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard. How much draw do you have next turn? I guess you only have 3 buys with 3 talismans. Yeah, that's not enough really to pile out. You have a lot of money, but you don't have the buys. So maybe you buy Spice Merchant and Masterpiece Overpay is probably worse than getting. I mean, if you go Spice Merchant's Talismans, how much draw art do you have next turn? Okay, Summons Noble Brigands. Just seems strange to me. Just seems strange to me. so swordfish trombone gets to... Probably don't discard here. Well, you've top decked yourself a copper. I don't know if that's what you really want to do. You probably actually don't need to score, because Apostolosoruler is still not threatening a pile out with only 3 buys. So you play all your plazas. I mean, I don't know, somehow... I feel like Apostolosoruler has misplayed the last few turns, and now the game is much more in question than it was a while back. I mean, I think Apostolosoruler should still be ahead, but you're not going to have draw next turn, so it's going to make it a lot harder. You probably need to score now, or would like to score, but you also want to keep your draw up. Swordfish Trombone is threatening not a pile out. He's only got 1 Spice Merchant to play, so it's 2 buys. I mean, yeah, but... So how much money do you have? You have 15. You could go... Like, I kind of want Silver Stick. Whoa! Oh, no, never mind. This is enough buys. 4 buys. This is a win. Yeah, Swordfish Trombone did need to score there. I can't count. What do you know? Still not in love with the way that Apo played it. Okay, stockpile strong here, like normal, but maybe even better here with keep. I don't know. Page also looks good. Stockpiles are going to run, so city's going to be good. Vampire's not the worst attack to flail under, but don't want rats. Don't particularly want sauna. I like getting the vampire. I mean, the 2/5 looks good. You can pick up stockpiles later, but you want to start getting cities and or patrols. You can build very, very big here. There's also the potential. I mean, there's just a ton of points between keep, the normal stuff, fairgrounds. Fairgrounds, there's what, 5, 10, 17 like normal, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, potentially up to 8-point fairgrounds. I kind of doubt 8-point fairgrounds are going to come in, although it wouldn't stun me. But 6-point fairgrounds seem like quite likely. You could get there without really even trying very hard. Not in love with the sauna. Game's gone very quick though. I need to catch up a little bit. Who has the 2 stockpiles? I think it's Apo. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Not sure about patrol versus city, because in the meantime, before you get champion up, yeah, I'm not sure what you want. After you get champion up, you're probably going to prefer the patrol for a while, although even then it's not that much better than city. Some number of vampires is good. I don't want a ton necessarily, though. I mean, I'm playing this patrol for sure. It triggers a good shuffle for me because it makes it ever the much more likely that, oh, I would think about not playing these and buying Grand Market here. It looks like that might be what you're doing. Yeah, absolutely. Trash the coppers or the estates is actually not clear given the crossroads and patrol exist. Kind of like trashing the coppers, I think, somehow. And Apo, whoa, how did how did Apo get so far behind with the page line? Okay, apologies. It's very hard for me to follow all this stuff. This should be a stockpile here for Swordfish Trombone, I think. Yep. Okay. City Patrol. Crossroads to draw the patrol. Play the patrol. Okay. Looks like Apo might be trashing coppers over estates here, which I would approve of. It's another patrol over city. I would considerably be worried about being over terminaled where I Apo because it's gonna take me a while before I'm a champion. I assume you get a gold here, although I guess there's some thought to. Whoa, no! Don't you want to trash that estate? I mean, I'd rather trash copper than estate, I think, but I'd rather trash estate than not. You don't. It's the autoplay treasures button. Strikes, rears its ugly head again. Um, yeah, I think I'd take gold over stockpile, but I mean, you gotta, I guess, a little bit think about the situation. No, you have all your stockpiles back. Okay, gold seems better then. You're gonna take a champion here. I guess Swordfish Trombone has now realized this. Oh, Swordfish Trombone doesn't know about the slash undo feature. Okay, horrible. One more. Boom. Trash that estate. Buy the. Again, I think I kind of want cities. But here I would feel like duty bound to repeat the same buys. Okay, it's a Grand Market lost. You think about not playing the patrol here, but I think you play the patrol anyway. This is gotta be another patrol, I guess. I mean, I kind of still want cities. I don't know. I guess, well, the patrols haven't run yet. The stockpile's somehow not running that fast. This is probably another Grand Market or not. Could be just patrol stockpiles. Probably better. Yeah. Okay. This is actually not bad for Apo here. Gets stockpile. I might have thought about city there. I don't know. I mean, I think Apo's pretty far behind, kind of regardless. This is not a good draw for Swordfish Trombone. I would expect well, you could buy stockpile and something, or you could just buy city. I'm not sure which of those seems better to me. Goes for the stockpiles. Could be another stockpile, yeah. Securing the stockpile keep points. You know, Apo's deck is pretty well under control here. You're gonna crossroads, you're gonna patrol. You're oh. Huh. I'm not sure about this order. Maybe it's fine. You'd be very worried about the game ending quickly. I think gaining the stockpile off the hero is worse than buying it here, probably. You have 7 gains right now. Well, that's both not enough to end the game, but importantly also it's there's this lead issue. Okay. Apo has a chance, but it's only a chance here. You gotta draw stuff here. Can Swordfish Trombone win this turn? Seems eminently plausible. Maybe there's not enough gains. Takes 7 gains of cities to win. You draw all this stuff. Okay. So, 2 buys. Oh, you could just empty estates for sure. Yeah, this is game over. You can empty estates for sure. Yeah, Swordfish Trombone was kind of ahead the whole game. Can you empty cities? You could probably empty cities. Yes, you could empty cities here by buying 6 and vampiring for the last one. But estates is the easiest way, of course. Okay, so perhaps not so surprisingly, I'm not sure that you'd necessarily, you can, yeah, you just gave Apo 5 points and only gained 3 yourself by playing that vampire. That is something to watch out for sometimes, is sometimes you don't want to play your vampire, sometimes it hurts you. Here, I don't think it could ever hurt him enough, but okay. Whoa, 3 ways. I wonder how this interface is. It's probably a nightmare. We've got turtle map, pig map, camel anything. There's Duchy Duke. There's Triumphal Arch. There's not much draw. There's only Mastermind Caravan Guard, which is like pretty bad draw. Mastermind, I guess anything is pig 3 times. And then Tragic Hero, which is hard to draw with a lot. So interesting. Oh, I guess there's Mastermind Border Village. Mastermind Pig Anything seems to probably be the most reliable draw on the long term, but I don't know that that's really actually very reliable on the long term. And well, I wonder. There's a lot going on. I think this game is more about the points than a lot of stuff. I don't like opening Monastery. I don't think you're going to get enough out of the monastery to be worth it. I want to trash via cemetery or not at all, or maybe you delay and get a monastery later after you're like popping a bunch of tragic heroes in a turn or something, and then you can get a huge trash all at once. It seems possible, but this is going to be a ducat from Swordfish Trombone. So that's the implication of how that's getting played, yeah. So, Monastery Ducat. Could get thin. Could really get thin. Apple goes for a car guard. Kind of like that. I mean, I'm still la la land here over thinking about these treasure maps. Because you can get like 5 golds maybe off of them, like open treasure map caravan guard. Just keep buying treasure maps and caravan guards. Probably use your caravan guard as camel once or twice. Turtle your treasure map. Get that collision. Get 5 golds and just start taking Duchy Duke. But I'm a little bit concerned because like there's Triumphal Arch. I don't know. There are a lot of points that, like, I'd kind of want plus buy, but you're probably not going to get plus buy the turn after you map. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could have something turtled, and then you get to draw extra cards that turn. Like if you could get a tragic hero or a festival under a turtle, so that the turn that your maps pop, or the turn after your maps pop, I don't know. It's all a bit fiddly. It's all a bit fiddly, but I think like any deck is going to have a little bit of trouble kind of ending the game here. The most straightforward thing is like get a lot of border villages and tragic heroes though, and that's probably not so bad at least. It looks like Apostolosoruler is going for that. Although I will imagine that most of those Triumphal Arch points that you're going to have in the short term are going to evaporate. But it should be a solid way to thin. It's probably a solid way to build. Probably a better way to build, quite frankly, than the treasure map business. Even if you just want a lot of golds, um, it's probably a more efficient way to get there. So, okay. Not in love with the mastermind, but it's fine. So this is going to be another ducat buy? No. Okay, now going for the treasure map. Okay, so yeah, this turtling like this makes sure it pops though. I'm not 100% sure if Apostolosoruler realizes that. It could be the reason to do it. It's just like a cheap gold that comes with 3 cards and a buy. You could pig it also. Probably should have pigged the other tragic hero last turn, right? Yeah. And turtled that. Interesting. Was thinking could have been Camelot, huh? Well, I assume Swordfish Trombone continues turtling that guy. Needs to get another map here, so I would think plays the tragic hero normally. Turtles the tragic hero, but now you can't afford. Well, surely ducat's better than a state here. I guess you could maybe spend the coffers and yeah, but I don't know. Somehow this. Oh, you already have the second treasure map. What am I saying? Well, you're probably drawing. You've got a 4 and 7 chance now if you're Swordfish Trombone. Oh no, it's 3 and 7. Probably continue turtling all this stuff. I just don't think this is the way to go. This is going to be another big cemetery. Maybe 2 cemeteries. Probably 1 is sufficient. You have this monastery to clean the rest up. So you go like. Okay, so this is just double border if you're not. Okay. This is probably also fine. Gonna get a ghost here, I guess. Yep. Interesting choice here for Swordfish Trombone. Okay, well, taking your money's easy. Are you going to play this, though, or are you going to turtle it? You're going to continue to turtle. This makes sense to me. I think you play the border village and then you turtle the caravan. Okay. I was thinking to either turtle or possibly camel that caravan guard. Okay. Well, you're going to get lamp pop or not lamp pop, treasure map pop this turn if you're Swordfish Trombone for sure. I think you're a bit behind anyway, though. Could be wrong. This is probably Border Village Tragic Hero at this point. I mean, my conception of how this game plays out is long gone. Yeah, you want to pop them first and then draw. For one thing, it lets you keep this Tragic Hero around, which I think you would like to do. Yes. It also lets you draw the golds now, which is, I think, nice as well. Yeah, this is 13 money and 2 buys, 14 money and 2 buys even, 3 buys even. Great. I can count. Plausible. Game's kind of close to ending. Might have just taken both the border villages though. Maybe Caravan Guard as well. Not sure. Well, I assume you do this now. You are gonna, it's a little bit tricky. This is both mastermind plays, right? So now you can camel 4 of your cantrips, play the Tragic Hero, gain all of those golds, probably take a ducat because you're going to need a 7th buy. Oh, you're a buy short. No, no, no. If you took a ducat here, yeah, I think Apo had a win here. Hold on. If you take a ducat here, you'll have tons of money. It's just whether is that enough points, right? Oh, it's not enough buys anyway. It's, well, you need 8 buys to end the game. I'm not sure about turtling all of those. You could have had what number? Wait. You could have. I think you could have won this turn, right? If you just take, instead of golds off all these Tragic Heroes, you take ducats, and then you, instead of doing this, you or you camel, keep 1 border village around, play the Tragic Hero, then take all those golds. Then you could have, what, how many more buys than you have right now? 1 more buy from playing another Tragic Hero. So you have 1 buy left, and you spent 1, 2, 3, 4. So you had 5. You could have had 6, 7, 8. Could have had 8. So then it's just a matter of points wise, right? How many border villages? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You would have had 7. How many caravan guards? I'm pretty sure that's enough points. I'm pretty sure Apo could have won that turn if he takes ducats and then takes the golds at the end, and then empties border villages, Tragic Heroes, and caravan guards. I mean, having said all that, Apo's probably still in a good position. Like, I don't know what Swordfish Trombone can really do here. Swordfish Trombone has 3 border villages. I think this is all of them. Must be 3 caravan guards, at least. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Apostolosoruler could have won last turn. I'm also severely doubting my Duchy Duke thing. Like, you just blow up the border villages and Tragic Heroes do something very much like Apostolosoruler has done here. You get so many golds, you can just, like, buy out all the provinces so fast. I mean, it's kind of interesting because, like, you could also buy a lot of duchies and dukes, but you're going to be a bit buy limited. Um, I don't think you want to go for this here. I think you want to returtle all this stuff, play your 2 masterminds, and turtle the the tragic hero as well. He's going for it now, and he's taking golds. This is all quite surprising to me. You're not going to have buys left. For next turn, right? I mean, maybe it doesn't matter, but also this order seems slightly off. I think you want to hold back a border village to draw the last gold you're gaining here. This is 3 buys. You could have 4 buys. You could have 5 buys. Oh, there's still another border village here. This is... I mean, I suspect you could have quad provinced here. I guess this is enough anyway. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay. I've been spouting a lot of nonsense. I do think Apple could have won last turn, but like any criticism of that last turn is nonsense, right? Apple has a win. Apple takes the win. Doesn't really matter if I was looking at something else. This is perfectly fine. Could have done more, but didn't need to, right? Okay, so I have no idea what game this is now. I have some idea. It's game 5, I think? Maybe it's game 6, I don't know. Let's check and see how this recording is doing. Seems all fine, just over an hour in. Fantastic. Populate here can get you a plunder. That's worth noting. Okay. Watchtower seems good. You can watch with a watchtower in hand. You can buy a squire, and it gives you a torturer. See, if I were in Apo spot, I think I would have gone Transmogrify Watchtower. Yeah, you want to... Yeah, discard this way. And you're going to take some bath points here, I suppose, and trash. I just really think the trade route is not the way to go. Basically that. Transmogrify Watchtower is slow, but can trash. But anyway, in the meantime, you can use the Transmogrify with a Watchtower. Anyhow, okay, gets the Watchtower there. This is not what you're looking for if you're Apo. I mean, the thing here is to not call your Transmogrify this turn. There's no advantage of doing it this turn versus next turn if you're not going to play the Watchtower next turn. I think you're not going to play the Watchtower next turn. As long as you play it at the same in the same shuffle, then you don't need to do whatever the thing is. Watchtower also defends you against Torturer, so it's kind of important in that way. Yeah, swordfishtrombone looks all kinds of ahead. These early draws have been very good for them. Also not sure about that trade route, but I like it better than Appos, I'll put it that way. And you trash this squire. You don't trash that squire. Okay. Okay, and you buy a squire and another. Okay. So you're going to do a draw to X thing, I guess, huh? Is that it? And the thing now is, as Apostolosoruler, yeah, the Citadel means that you're getting double attacked, which is quite a sad thing. You're probably buying another encampment here if you're Swordfish Trombone, because you need villages, and you'd like to draw, and you don't care too much if you lose the thing, because you're just going to get it back later. Takes a torture. I mean, that's fine. Absolutely fire that off. Play the torture, play the torture. Probably look to populate here. You're 2/3 now if you play this encampment. Ugh. That's all kinds of bad. You could populate here, or you could just like buy triple encampment. I kind of like buy triple encampment. And could be a skulk, could be a squire. A skulk to get a second gold is something. Transmogrify, that also seems pretty good. Play your T-Mog. Play your trade route, buy squire, trash the squire. Get a skulk, trash the skulk, top deck the gold. Buy encampment. That's some niftiness that could have been going on as well, right? The watchtower in hand, 4 money and 2 buys. You buy a squire, you trash the squire to watchtower, you gain a skulk, you trash the skulk to watchtower, you gain a gold from gaining the skulk, you get a top deck that, and you get a buy and top deck an encampment that way. You have encampment gold on top of your deck, which is pretty nice. Overly cute to be super important, but these are the kinds of little optimizations that I think often help in winning games of Dominion. Okay, this is going to be trash this skulk, right? Top deck that. Not sure I love the top decking. Maybe it's fine. Okay. This is encampment, plunder, watchtower. Goes for diplomat. And chariot races. Okay, does have this watchtower, which is important. Little surprised, like I don't like this play from Swordfish Trombone. I'm firing off this encampment. I'm not really worried if I lose it. Maybe you even know you're going to lose it, but I want to have a better turn than this. It seems a lot more important. I would have also considered buying nothing there. It doesn't uncover the plunders. See, there I like playing the like citadeling the transmogrify just because you really needed the village effect as opposed to Apostolosoruler. Swordfish Trombone was way far ahead and is now pretty far ahead. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I still think Swordfish Trombone is pretty ahead. Actually, maybe not. What? You gotta come back into Squire, right? Okay. I react the diplomat here. Well, I discard the coppers and I definitely keep the watchtower. I'm not sure what else I'm discarding. Chariot race seems reasonable. I'm taking the curse and trashing it. You gotta keep firing these off. Yup. Okay. So now you've gotten to this point as Swordfish Trombone. And double plunder. Could be populate. Populate probably was better. Playing without watchtower here seems not so great. Populate would give you a plunder. It's worth noting because it's an action pile. Okay, so Buys. Take buys. I don't think I would have kept the skulk either. Wait, did you not? Didn't you just get the skulk? And you didn't top deck the gold, but you knew you were going to have an encampment. Ah, my goodness. Well, I would have thought about populating there as well. Kind of want another watchtower if I'm Apo. I now think Apostolosoruler is ahead. Swordfishtrombone, I think, has squandered this lead. Although, this is going to hurt. Wait, you led on Torturer? And you discarded first? I'm very confused. You gotta play the encampment there. You can't sabotage your turns like this. And as Apo, if you know this is all this turn is going to be, you do it the other way around. Take buys. Get transmogrify. Watchtower. Oh my. Okay. Come on, fire off an encampment here, Swordfishtrombone. Okay. Somehow, I don't know who's ahead now. This is a very good turn. All these curses are coming through. I think I wanted a higher watchtower density as Apostolosoruler. Torturer. You gotta take buys off of this squire, obviously. You have 4 buys here. Is that enough to win the game? Curse, curse. Now you're a buy short. You're just 1 buy short. Well. Tower's also a bit interesting. Oh, I don't know where you'd be points-wise. How many curses are in the trash? So Apo would be getting 3 points more than you'd be tied, and then the squires, you'd have 4 of them, and there's 2 in the trash, so that'd be tied. So you'd be like tied anyway. You wouldn't have the points. You got to score, right? Because Apostolosoruler threatening to win here. Apostolosoruler might still be threatening to win. Because the curses are... Getting 2 curses is actually positive points here for Apostolosoruler. And you're just going to have the plunder stuff. Apostolosoruler really might win here. Gonna need to take a good draw, though. Okay. So now you play that. Whoa, whoa. You want to play more stuff first, right? You take the... Now hold on a second. You gotta think. 4, 6. You can empty piles here. You probably aren't scoring enough, though, right? How much do the squires score you? If you trade route curse here, you have 4 buys. You'd have to buy squire, squire, curse, curse, which scores you what? 2 points ahead of where you are now, plus whatever the squire split is, which is, I think that's enough. Although actually, I think embargoing the squires is more point beneficial, right? Yeah, if you embargo squires here, you then have 8 money. You can buy squire, squire, and estate. And that empties the curses and the squires. You score 2 points off the plunder. That gets you to 12. You have, I think, another curse. I think. Right? You have all the curses that aren't in the trash. So you have, yeah, 2 curses right now. So you score 2 points net from the curses. So that'll get you to 12. 2 points from the plunders. That gets you to 14. And then the squires, you just need to net, you need to have 4 more of them after buying 2 here than your opponent. So if there's 8 left, you need to have 6. But I believe you do. Pretty sure that's exact, a win by 1 point. Embargo squire. Play your plunders by squire, squire, estate. I believe that's a 1 point win for Apostolosoruler here, if I've done my math correctly. I was thinking I was going to try to play this turn in such a way that I mean, you really need to be sure of it before you go for this. Well, especially with diluted. But I was thinking I was going to try to play this turn in such a way that my diplomat was a village for me. And Apo didn't do that. But could he have? So his hand was copper, trade route, encampment, plunder, plunder. So after this it was trade route, encampment, plunder, plunder, and curse. So that's 5 cards. This is 6 cards. This is 7 cards. So you play this, you play this, you're down to 5 cards. You could then have trade routed the, right, you play the transmogrify and the squire, and then you can trade route the curse, and then you can play the diplomat and get the village effect. And then you're going to draw this skulk, which you can then play, and then you can play the watchtower. You can play the trade route before the watchtower. Maybe you have more action plays. You got to see more cards, and that's just going to make things a little bit easier, I think. But I'm pretty sure even this way, you have the win, right? You embargo the squires. One squire, 2 squires. Right? You only have 2. There's 2 in the trash, which means if you get the rest of them, then there's 6. Because you need to keep the squire pile, and you need to, I need to have counted the squire and curse piles correctly for that to work. Is he going for it? He's going for it! Yes! All right, great way to end this. Thanks for watching, everybody.